welcome back to my channel. I'm Carissa with Berean Academy Homeschooling Gracefully, Clark Family Chronicles on Instagram. I hope y'all are having a great summer. We've been working through a summer unit that has been really fun. If you haven't seen my video about our U.S. States Geography unit, be sure to check that out. So today I want to show you how we organize our homeschool stuff, how I store it, and how we homeschool without a homeschool room. We don't have a dedicated space. I tried that in the past and we just end up all over anyway, and so I'm going to kind of share how we do that. We're also trying a new clipboard schedule system this year. I don't know how it's going to work yet. I have high hopes for it. We've only been using it for a few days, and so time will tell, but I'm going to share it with you, and if it seems like something that might benefit your homeschool, maybe you could try it. So we have this room in our house. It's sort of right in the middle of the room. It's actually the room I'm sitting in right now, and we call it the middle room or the library room, but it is like dead center, and on this side of me is the kitchen and dining past that, and on this side of me is the family room, media room. And so it sort of is like a central hub that we end up in a lot. So it seemed like a good place to kind of store all the homeschool stuff. And actually, when we first moved in, this house has been through a lot of changes, but when we first moved into this house, this is where our dining table was, and the wall that my bookshelves are on now is where we stored our homeschool stuff back then, and we worked at the table. So this room holds all of our books. We have our bookshelves, and it has a chair that I sit in a lot for school, and a couch for the kids, and a lot of floor space. This holds all of our supplies, some learning toys, curriculum, all the mom stuff, family games, stuff like that. So we definitely tried to make it cozy. We wanted it to be a room that we loved being in. So cozy furniture, a nice rug, a big rug that's comfy for the kids to play on, a few little DIY accents. I made these curtains, and the wall hanging, and we have up little watercolors, and so we just really wanted it to be an inviting space for me and for the kids. And we purposefully didn't put in any sort of coffee table or workspace like that, because we wanted to leave the floor open for playing with blocks or doing board games on the floor or having a lot of space to work. We have these big floor cushions that the kids will pull out and sit on, and so we like to have like the floor space open. They can work on the clipboard, or they use their little work boxes, kind of like a desk sometimes. But we don't always want to be on the floor, or we'll be on the floor maybe for read aloud or on the couch or something. So we also have a desk that my husband built that's in the family room, just adjacent to this room, and it's right under a window, and I really like working at that desk. It's fun that we can see out. We have like a cute little view, I would say. I don't want to sound like we have a great view, but you know, I like our view. Just trees, basically. There's an open field across from us, and my pre-K daughter really likes to look out the window while she works, so it's sweet. And occasionally we will also work in our dining room, and I love the work boxes that we use because we could just take it with us wherever we want to go. This is sort of home base in this room, but we can go throughout the house. We didn't use our dining room very often in the past because it had really dark paneling. We have finally painted it. I'm very excited, and we're finding that we're using that room more. We tried to school in there. If you have followed me for a while, you probably saw our minimalist homeschool room, and we used that back in as a homeschool room, and I couldn't do it. It felt like a cave. It was so dark. So anyways, now we're finding that we gravitate to that room more frequently, and that is the room that we'll do like craft activities, anything that's going to be messy, anything that we're doing all together where we need a lot of space to spread out, we'll do at the dining table. Okay, so we have these bookcases. We have a small one here, and we have 3 big ones. These are the cheap ones from Walmart, Mainstay. I really wanted the Billy bookcases from IKEA, which are still affordable, but our closest IKEA is a few hours away, like 4, and it was going to be like $200 to have it delivered, so I wasn't willing to spend that or to make the drive. So I settled on these, and we've had them for almost 2 years, and surprisingly they've held up really well. I haven't overloaded them with like a lot of books, so I don't know if you are using it really for like a library, like stacked full of books. I'm not sure how they would do with that weight, but for how we're using it, seems to be going well. So the small bookcase has all of our toddler books, picture books, bedtime story books, mostly board books. These are the ones that the younger kids are free to come and pull out and look at, and the older kids enjoy looking at them and reading them to the younger kids and all that. But this is like the toddler bookcase. Then in the 3 larger ones, we have all of our curriculum and school supplies, and I'll go over how it's organized in a minute. Next to our bigger bookcases is our Clipboard System. So this is brand new to us this year. I've seen it all over Pinterest, so it seemed like a good idea to me. So we have our weekly schedules up on here, as well as our attendance log, which has been really convenient. I'm hoping that this will help foster some independent learning. This is hopefully going to sort of set the precedent. If I can get in the habit of it, then I can help them get in the habit of it. I'm using a free printable for our attendance log that is from the Homeschool resource room, Ashley Fox, and she has that on her blog, and you can print it out. And I'm using her multicolor check mark multiple student idea. That sounded really convoluted. Basically, each student has a different color pen, and I put a check mark for them. Instead of, in the past, I've had a separate attendance sheet for each child just to track our days, but I really like this one page, all my kids, makes it really easy for me. And then the other printable that we're using is like a bullet journal style printable from the schoolnest.com, and it's a weekly spread. She uses it in like a happy planner, but I'm doing it on the clipboard. I really like that it is a weekly schedule and not a daily schedule. So the curriculum that we use, mostly master books, is really like a just next day. You just do whatever is next. There's not a lot of scheduling involved in that, so I don't really need to write out in a planner what we're going to do when. So this is more of an at a glance what needs to get done this week. But we're never like behind a day or anything. It's not scheduled out by the day. It's just by subject, a weekly overview. It also incorporates a daily checklist for habits. We're using it as habits and chores, so they can keep track that they've brushed their teeth morning and night, that they've made their bed, that they've done their personal chore. Like one of my kids is supposed to feed one of the dogs, another one is supposed to organize the shoes in the shoe basket. So these are daily habits I want them to do. I also have outside time on there, quiet time, and an art or craft. So these are things that I want them to be doing daily, and they can make sure that they've done it. And then it also incorporates a reading log, and I include their independent readers as well as the read alouds that we do together on the reading log. So the plan is to just fill them out on Sunday and put them up, and it's easy for me to reference it throughout the day instead of having to lug out my big teacher binder with all of the suggested daily schedules and things that come out of our curriculum. And I think that is the biggest plus for me, that I can see what we need to do, what I need to pull together just with a quick glance at the clipboards. They're always at the ready for me. Okay, so now let's kind of get into how I have organized our big set of 3 bookshelves. So on the bottom row here, we have learning toys, lots of wood toys, the things that I want them to pull out like during school time, the approved, school time toys. The next row is basically our lockers. They have their workbox that has all their independent subjects, a little basket with their independent readers. And then my daughter, who's going through Simply K, has a little flashcard holder that holds her letter books that come with that Simply K. The next row has reference books, our morning basket, our chapter books, and then we have a shelf that has their abacus and their little pencil caddy. It has pencils and glue and scissors and pens and just everything they can do, and then our family reading Bible. Then we go on to my mom's shelf. This has all of our teacher guides, my big teacher binder. This has our group subjects and a few reference books. The next shelf over has our little box of phonogram cards and word cards for our All About Reading, and then our big basket of read alouds. So this has all of our Sunlight Corby read alouds. And then the top shelf has pictures and teacher supplies. We have some math manipulatives, some curriculum that I'm working through myself. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing how we sort of just spread out around the house. I find it helpful to have a home base basically where all the supplies are stored, and then we can take them wherever we want to work. I'm excited about the clipboard schedule, so if any of you already do something similar to that, please comment below, let me know how it works, little tips and tricks that you found to make it work better, that type of thing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'd love to hear if you use a dedicated homeschool space or if you sort of just spread out throughout the house. and what works for you guys. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you totally should. I am at Clark Family Chronicles, and I share a lot to my stories of behind the scenes in our homeschool, kind of funny stuff that happens, rearranging our house, DIYs, stuff like that. So you should give me a follow. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your summer if you're still on break. If you've started school, I pray that your school year is starting off on a great foot. And until next time, happy schooling.